That would be me.
Look who we're hanging with.
Ryan O'Halloran.
Jason David Frank.
Humberto Ramos.
Please do not change channel.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for logging on and tuning in. If you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe. That way you can keep coming back over and over to hang with us and our fantastic creative guests in the arts and entertainment world. I'm Allyson Murray, and right now we're at the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando, Florida at MegaCon 2018, and we're hanging with comic book creator Richard Rivera. Thank you so much for hanging with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, this is so exciting. So tell us about your comic book.
Well, Stabbity Bunny, we say, could take place near the intersection of Nightmare on Elm Street and Sesame Street, where a 100-year-old plush bunny and a 7-year-old little girl must battle evil. Another way that we talk about it now, which is also pretty accurate, is it's like Taken meets Supernatural, but instead of Winchester brothers, you've got a grandmother, a single mom, and a 7-year-old little girl. Now, they're not hunting evil, but there's been a force that's been pursuing them for generations. And as a result, well, it's finally caught up with them. That's why we have issue 1.
Awesome. Fantastic. So what was your inspiration to behind writing Stabbity Bunny?
Well, when I was first working on it, it was going to be very different. It was going to be like a bunny that showed up, you know, almost like magically or whatever, to different kids that were in distress or different bad situations. But I thought that would be a little too predictable. You know, he shows up, end of the issue will be coming around, and he's going to take care of business or whatever. But instead, I went back. That was about 9 years ago or so. And then about 5 years ago, I went back and started working on the history of that family and some of the townspeople. And really, I went back like thousands of years for their family and hundreds of years for a few of the townspeople's, you know, lines. But really made it more about them and his part of it. He's been handed down within their family for about 100 years.
Okay. Cool. Are there any characters or stories that you're just dying to tell that you haven't gotten out there yet?
Well, I've been writing comic book treatments and series for decades and putting them aside. As a matter of fact, Scout is picking up a couple more of my series soon. Shadow Play will start in January. And we've got a book called Wild Bull and Chipper, which is like a superhero comedy. That'll be starting this summer.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Who or what are your biggest influences in your career?
Well, you know, I really have a soft spot for the silver age of like Marvel and DC comics. And so really like the big Avengers sagas and everything, you know, I was around for when the first Kree-Skrull War was happening and a lot of the Justice League and the JSA crossovers and everything. I loved that. I loved the feel overall of the stories. You know, there's tension, but they were still very positive and sort of uplifting. And then Alan Moore came into the spotlight, and I had first started reading a lot of his stuff in Warrior magazine because the V for Vendetta, Warp Smiths, Miracle Man, and all that, they were serialized in black and white in Warrior magazine, and his ability to add that much more to a story, make it that much more layered and that much more like a literature, really influenced me as well. I love that.
Are there any restrictions, do you think, to working in the comic book industry?
In what way? I'm sorry.
Like, I don't know. Do you feel that maybe publishing has restrictions? Like, do they want to tell you what they like, what they don't like?
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'm sure that's much more prevalent in a much larger company. I self-published for a while, so I was good with myself. And then Scout has been fantastic. I haven't really had much in the way of. I think Scout really vets the book and it already knows that it's in keeping with what they want out there. So they're not going to bring somebody on board and then be like, okay, we like your book, but we need all these changes. So I've been really lucky as far as that goes. I have had free reign.
Yeah, that's great. Do you frequent a lot of cons?
Yes, that's as close to just what my life is. I mean, I was home 1 month last year. I was home like 17 hours during the entire month.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Is it exhausting or recharging?
It can be both. And, a lot of things about cons isn't always sales. As you guys know, it's the connections, it's meeting people. And, I've had multiple people stop by and say how much they enjoy the book and enjoy the series and keep it up. And, that recharges.
Yeah, it really does. So what's coming up for you after MegaCon?
Well, I'll be at Heroes. Be at San Diego.
Nice.
Going to be at New York. And I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of other conventions, but I've got somebody kind of helping me with some of that stuff now, and so I know a few weeks ahead of time, but sometimes I don't know where I'm going to be.
And where can people find you and find Stabbity Bunny and any of your other creations?
Well, StabbityBunny.com. That's the site that kind of keeps everything. Stabbity Bunny Facebook is what is going to be the most current information. So yeah, we've got a little over 11,000 followers on Facebook. So we got a few people.
That's really good. Mm-hmm. That's great. Congratulations on that. That's hard. And do we have time for a game? We like to play games on this show, Richard.
Oh no, okay.
We're going to play Mad Gab. Have you ever played?
No.
It's a really fun game where you just pick a card, you read what's in the bubble, and then we have to guess what we're trying to say, because it's not English.
Okay.
Per se.
Gotcha.
Okay. And the answer's on the opposite side under the letter that you're doing.
So do I look at that, or you're trying to guess?
I'm going to guess what you're trying to say to me, and you're going to guess what I'm trying to say to you.
Okay. All right.
You want to go first?
Let you go first. You have experience here.
Okay. Column heating. Column heating. Column heating. Column heating.
I don't know.
What the heck?
Stump me.
Call a meeting.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh my God, that was a good one.
Mine is I mul huck eek I. I mul huck eek I.
I'm a heekster. I don't know. So you're on the other side. What was your letter?
On the other side, A.
Up here.
Oh. What are we fighting for?
What are we fighting for?
Okay. Well.
Okay. So you did this one. I'm a holiday. So it's.
Oh, I'm a lucky guy. Well, that's how appropriate.
There
with
you
the success
go.
of the book and everything, we've been really lucky. Awesome.
Do we have time for one more, Harry? We have time for one more, he says.
All right, I'm going to pull a brand new card.
Oh,
I've already
great.
scoured this card with my eyeballs. So let me go ahead and do
Yeah, no
one.
cheating. Yeah, so have I.
Okay. Bat, chill, harp, hearty.
Bat, chill, heart.
Bat, chill, harp, hearty.
Me, hearty. I don't know.
Well, let's see here. Oh, let me say it again.
Okay.
Now that I know what it is,
Okay.
but I'm still going to just emphasize it with what they've got here. Bachelor harp hardy. Bachelor harp hardy.
Bachelor harp party.
Bachelor party. We're getting there though. A little practice.
Jeez. Okay. Thief if the estate. Thief if the estate. Thief if T estate.
Thief if T estate?
Yes. Thief T if the estate.
I don't know. I think I need another cola. What is this one?
It is
The 50 estate. Okay.
these are hard.
Yes.
Well, guys, it's been a blast hanging with Richard today. I'm Allyson Murray, but before we go, we would like to thank our very special partners at Krypton Radio out of LA, Famous Faces and Funnies, Off the Chain Radio with Yvonne Mason, Space Coast Comics, Asylum Convention Entertainment Services with Heather Reed, and our great friends at Summon Unique Magazine. These are the folks that share our videos all over the World Wide Web, and we hope you will too. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, let us know what you think of today's show and our guests. You can also check our guest links below. Remember to subscribe, log on, and stay tuned to see who we're hanging with next. Thank you so much, Richard.
Thank you.